Wild with Matt Becker, John Norris, and Greg Shaley.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
We did it.
Is John here?
John is
I'm here.
Is this amazing?
How did that happen?
He thought it was at noon.
I've been here for 3 hours.
Just waiting. Hello, guys.
Hey, Greg Shaley.
I have to use my internal mic on the thing because Skype won't recognize the other microphone.
So it's like you're in the hallway.
Won't recognize?
You better recognize. So is that the best we got then?
Yeah, free speech.
All right. Well, we'll proceed. We'll soldier on.
We'll make do.
Yeah, John, you sound very rich and connected, well connected.
Yeah, I don't know. I changed nothing at all for these Skype sessions, and it's just luck. It's just the way the clouds are positioned over my house. I don't know.
No,
It's because my mic sucks. That's why.
Well, I am in just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Woo!
At
Ooh, that's
Go Pirates.
a huge like I don't, what do they call this, Trace?
A needle exchange?
It's not a needle exchange. It's like it's a huge like outdoor mall like type thing.
Oh yeah, that's what when you don't have one season.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, I mean, there's huge box stores. There's like there's a TJ Maxx, a Ross Dress for Less, and a Marshall's, like all basically with one store in between them, all sharing one parking lot. And I believe like TJ Maxx might actually be owned by Ross or Marshall's, or maybe they're all owned by the same. I mean, the store layouts look a little different, but they all smell and look the same when you go in. I mean, the merchandise.
It just got bought today by Amazon.
Who did?
They got all bought by Amazon.
Amazon bought all of them.
They're just buying all of it.
It's the point of sale right at the checkout where like you see lighters and the fidget things. That was the point of sale purchase. Like, yeah, you know what? Give me Ross Dress for Less and TJ Maxx. Throw in the Marshalls too. Let's go. I'm in a hurry.
You know what? That would be hysterical. That should be the way they save retail is you go in, you put on an outfit, you do a selfie, and then people vote if it's cool or not. you pay based on the votes. So you're like, they really liked it. $100. John, you can get some free shirts.
I like that idea.
They'll hate it so bad that they give it to John for free.
Come on, dude. Pee Wee Herman shirts are cool.
I got 3 death threats. What does that mean? I think you owe me if I get death threats on the shirt.
That means you're gonna get free flip flops with that T-shirt that no one likes on you.
Perfect.
Yeah, but you can't come back for 30 days. Thanks for playing.
My Malcolm Extra large hoodie.
So we're just waiting around for a gig in 2 days.
Wow, 2 days off, huh?
Hold on. No, it's tomorrow. Yeah, we've had 2 days off. This has been weird. We've only done 3 shows. Last we talked, we had just gotten to, we were in Binghamton, and then we were going to the first show in Nyack. We did Nyack, and then we did Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Wait, where's Harrisburg, Trace? Yeah, that's Pennsylvania. And then Scranton. And that's it.
Oh, how did Scranton go? Did you get killed?
Well, tune into the Doug Stanhope podcast if you want to hear how Scranton went.
Damn it, we were trying to get in advance.
Oh, man. No scoop.
He was sneak.
We're doing a podcast from the Improv tomorrow. Well, before the show. So we'll do a podcast before the show. That's the plan, and it will cover everything that happened at Scranton.
Cool.
It'll be good.
Yeah, what are you guys going to do with your day off in the outskirts of Pittsburgh?
This is it. I'm doing it right now. Yeah, this was basically getting from the hotel last night to here, and then sit around and wait to do a podcast. But since we had all the shopping here, I could re-up all the booze for the mobile green rooms. We could go do a little shopping here and there to get some other things we needed for the road. It's constantly replenishing the supplies in the van. That's all this is.
So you're basically radar from MASH.
Yeah, exactly. Stand up. Can I get you to sign here? Just his initial here, and there we go. All right, let's go get some sushi. That's basically
just
right there.
Just so you have options. The Living Dead Museum is only a short drive away in Evans City, Pennsylvania.
What's the Living Dead Museum?
I guess it's a museum dedicated to the Living Dead series, the George Romero movies, which were filmed in and around Pittsburgh.
Oh, the Nightmare of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead?
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that's Living Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Where's that at?
Evans City.
You get there, it's just a bunch of coma patients.
Yeah, but we have to move hotels tonight. I'm sure that'll also be covered on the Doug Stanhope podcast, the next edition. We have to move hotels from tonight for tomorrow before we do the improv. So, there was a big thing about that. So tomorrow, we will actually have time. We could do something like that now that we're taking care of this today. Thanks, John.
I'm looking at the webpage, and it's wow, it's a beauty.
Oh, John, your other suggestions were very apt because we ran into someone from Binghamton when we were in Scranton, and he lives there, and he was saying they brought up the carousel capital of the world, which they not only they started to talk about it, and I said, oh no, we're well aware of that. And then they also mentioned something about that house that you were talking about.
Greg, I'm not making this shit up.
These are John, you're right on. You're right on. I don't know. I mean, maybe we're cluing in onto something here for some kind of a revenue stream for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna write a travel guide.
John, who thinks like the locals.
John.
He's a chameleon in your town.
Yeah, Binghamton was we actually had a really good time. We got really drunk there for 2 nights and stayed at that one hotel, the Grand Royale, which was fine. And it's like only like $50 a night, 55 plus change. I mean, don't go to their breakfast downstairs. It's a fucking waffle station and horrible coffee, but you can tell that just by looking at it. But everything else was great.
Binghamton Grand Royale. It's going in the book.
Yeah, that should definitely go in the book. Sights to see. You know what I mean? And it's right across from Uncle Tony's, which is a bar that's open every night to at least midnight or 1 in the morning. And then around the corner is Sake Tumi, which is a sushi bar that has the Tuesday $1 sake, $1 piece of sushi.
Oh yeah, $1 sushi.
Yeah, and the $1 sake that was a big part of it.
Can I throw in some follow up?
Yeah.
From because last week you told the story about buying drywall powder.
Yes, in Peoria.
And I just saw this story about a man who spent 90 days in jail because he got caught with white powder that ended up being drywall powder.
Yeah.
90 days in jail because that's how long it took to do the lab tests.
They could have given it to me or Andy, and we would have told him in a second.
And but they arrested him because he was on probation for marijuana and cocaine charges from 2015. So this guy definitely thought he was buying cocaine, and it ended up being drywall powder.
Wait, he wasn't selling it. He got caught in possession.
He was pitching. He wasn't pitching.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus!
He got pulled over for driving without headlights.
Well, there you go.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't awake.
His eyes were shut when he was driving anyway. He didn't need headlights.
He didn't get floored. He got walled.
He got walled.
So I saw that headline and had to share it with you.
Yeah, that's a shame because he was just going out there and participating in some local commerce, and someone took poor advantage of a poor soul in need. That sucks. And come on, 90 days for basically being a John. No offense, John Norris, but you know what I mean?
He's trying to figure out how long he's going to go for, and then they come back and go, no, you got ripped off bad.
But, like, that's the thing that those guys should be, like Like, man, that's fucked up, man. But I got to process you. We'll get you out of here. 90 days. That's 3 fucking months, man.
Oh, here's the other weird thing. I guess the officer did like a test on the scene to test if it was cocaine.
Yeah.
And he said it tested positive. I don't know what that test is. If it's just the officer rubbing it on his gums.
It's a fucking scam. It's already on the knife that he sticks into the baggie. And then he goes in, right, Becker? It's already on it. It's like the drug sniffing dogs that go up against a car and the guy, the handler starts like touching the car. It's like, whoa. Don't be fucking leading the witness here. If that dog smells something, then he goes for it. But don't go, hey, check here. I don't know what that fucking dog knows, if that's the command for scratch the door.
The dog always jumps up and down, then he gives him a treat. And I'm like, oh, I find drugs quick too if I got a treat.
Greg, these dogs are professionals. Let's not call into question their dedication.
John, did I say anything about the dog? I said it's the handler. The dog is just doing what he's trained. And when when the handler doesn't like the look of the person behind the wheel or the fidgety guy in the back, then he just puts his hand up there. It's a fucking trick, just like a fucking lie detector test, man.
Well,
America's Got Talent just had a lady on. The dog would bark whatever number you wanted, and then everybody knows about that. It's a hand signal. But I'm just saying, if that dog can fucking bark 7 times, I go to jail. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You're counting 1, 2.
If they don't win, if that act doesn't win America's Got Talent, all those cases should be thrown out. It's not that
Your Honor, if I can cite America's Got Talent versus John Norris, that's thrown out based on this alone.
Okay, well, we didn't just have the dog. We also had a girl with with cancer who played the violin, and she also did drugs.
Your Honor,
she won American
last witness, I'd like to call to the stand Thunder, the counting German Shepherd. I think he is a credible witness in this case.
All right, bring out the smoking chimp. We got to put an end to this.
The defense attorney's like, oh, fuck, they got Thunder. God damn it. I heard he was in Canada. Jesus Christ.
Can you stump that dog if you ask for like a decimal point, like 7.3? What does he do? Does he give like a third of a bark?
Yeah, really.
Maybe. I think.
It's all. I bet you it's all metric, dude.
And he's a Canadian. What about these horses that can stomp out numbers? I mean, I've seen it.
Well, you know what I never understood is by now technology's gotten good enough. You could put a fucking chip in the dog's mouth and make him talk.
I've seen that. I saw that on America's Got Talent, where they put a false bottom jaw that's activated by remote control, so it looks like the dog is talking. So they're basically doing. They don't show this, but they probably rubber band the dog's fucking real jaw shut. But they have this bottom jaw that moves, and it's like a ventriloquist act.
Oh,
have you not seen this, Becker? Have you not seen this?
I didn't see that. I would have. Yeah, that's great. That's
cut to the behind the scenes where they're just beating the dog with a sandal to make him talk.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos of? They show the video of like those buskers that have dogs that walk on their hind feet, like wearing costumes.
Yeah, like wearing an outfit.
Yeah, and then they show like a behind the scene thing of the owner beating the dog with a sandal whenever it puts its front paws down.
Hey.
Which is disturbing, but also, why are they filming that part of it? Who's filming the training part?
Again, these aren't the best marketeers. I mean, Andy Williams got his own place in Branson, Missouri.
Oh, yeah, really. I'll tell you who's filming. Slighted Ex-Girlfriends. That's who's filming, John.
Yeah, that's true.
And by the way, any homeless person that has a dog in an outfit that is using taffeta or like a silk with faux rhinestones or with rhinestones and stuff, that's suspect already. What's going on? That person probably has an apartment or a loft somewhere. They've got a clean outfit for a dog. The whole thing stinks.
Yeah.
Listen, I might be covered in shit and live in a box, but I make sure my my dog's Elvis costume is in prime condition, always taken care of. This is our moneymaker.
You know, maybe that's what the crazy old guys are always mumbling about in bigger cities. They were like, I used to make a fortune with Rusty, and then he died. Now I got no act. He's like, I should have gave that dog better food.
Dude, it's like Santa. Once he had one flying reindeer, do you think he'd fucking stop there? He needed all of them to get, and then he had a recruiting team going out to get new reindeer that could fly.
Yeah, that was the thing is they act like it was one reindeer started it all, but he'd have to breed with all the other reindeer.
Sure.
So it'd all be like genetically altered. So you'd be
I've seen behind the scenes footage, and it's actually he has elves beat the reindeers with candy canes until they start floating. It's really brutal.
Santa's first attempt at making a living.
That, John?
Santa's first attempt at making a living was actually having reindeer on their hind legs in taffeta skirts.
Yeah,
Dance.
Dancing to Swan Lake. Like,
it didn't go so well.
Why would you film that, John? Santa doesn't need to film how he trained them. People love to film themselves. You see, they got that new little drone that'll follow you around and fucking film you everywhere you go.
Dude, I saw the one. I don't know if you guys saw this. You're up in Alaska. You get things later than us. There was a guy who was doing. It wasn't a TED Talk, but it was some kind of convention. Like I don't know if it was that CEE or whatever it was. But they had this guy like in a boxed area. So let's say it's like a 15 by 15 square, and it's all got net. Like it's all netted around him, like it's a 2-on-2 basketball thing where they don't want the ball going out of bounds, right? So he's standing there, and it came up on something, so I'm not even looking at it. But then I see him like hold a drone and like let it go, and it just like he like pulls his hand down and it stays there. I go, oh, I got to check this out. So I click on it, and this guy basically is talking, and there's all nerds and geeks standing around this fucking fenced-in area, and he's talking about how would like this is the new drone, and we're trying to figure out how to control it. And I know what you're thinking. You're all looking at your smartphones. And he basically does this fucking Jedi thing where he starts moving the drone with his hand. He moves it. He holds his hand up. It's already recognized him. And he moves his hand to the left. The fucking drone immediately goes over to the left, goes to the right.
This isn't going to work for porn at all.
Well, not for the people in the action. You're right. Becky, you're right. I mean, industry on the internet and technology is definitely driven by porn. So how would that work?
I don't know. I have it on my forehead, or
no. Put the director or the film guy in a green suit. He could be scrubbed out of the scene, so he could be standing right next to the action and just like putting his hand up and down, left and right.
I'm not credited the green guy.
Yeah, I don't know. They do have drones for sale here at Ross Dress for Less, or I think it was TJ Maxx. They've got drones in TJ Maxx on sale next to the luggage.
I mean, they have shirts that don't last for like one wearing, but get a drone, throw it up in the sky around some planes.
Well, you know where they had drones this weekend? We went to the Highland Games, and they had drones flying over the events, which is weird because I think it got the guys to throw like the hammers and shit farther because they're aiming for the drone.
Yeah. Did you guys go together to the Highland Games?
I forgot about it. I did not go.
All right,
John forgot, but it's okay.
I did. I organized my garage. I did that.
John, being unemployed, I think that you would you'd be looking for things to do, especially things that that would take you away from menial chores like cleaning the garage.
I don't go outside, Greg. I don't know if you've heard about all of our bears are real mad. I don't go outside anymore. I would say
that.
You should go outside and get theater chairs from somebody's backyard.
I'm working on that.
I know you are, John.
I'm working on that right now.
So which way do we go, guys? Do we going to talk about the Highland Games?
Yeah,
or the Bears?
I actually did go. John can talk about organizing the garage if he wants.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Okay. It was a wonderful time. The weather turned beautiful like during the day, and it was packed. I mean, Greg, they do it out at the fairgrounds now.
Wait, what's fair? Eagle River? Where the state fair is?
Yeah, Palmer.
Now they do it in Palmer.
Okay.
They do the Highland Games. They moved it, and I hadn't gone last year because they moved it out there, and I was like, I don't want to go all the way out there. So this year I said, okay, we're going. So we went, and it was a blast. It was packed. I'd say, I don't even know the number, but it was the whole Midway was packed with people. And we think a lot of people just went because it was nice out and there was something to do, because there were events going on, and I don't think people even knew that there were events going on.
Yeah.
But they had live bands, and it was fantastic. And I've watched one guy we watched, and he'd been doing it 25 years.
Wow.
Okay, that's how long he's been doing it. So he's a gray-haired, in good shape. But, I mean, doing that caber where you throw a telephone pole.
Oh, it's you basically lift up a telephone pole vertically, and then you like run and then like flip it so it goes ass over tea kettle forward, right?
Yeah, and then it lands, and when it lands, they give it a clock time based on noon to on. And so that's a great betting game, because first you got to bet if it goes over. If it goes over, you got to pick the time, and the closest to the time wins. So it's an amazing gambling opportunity.
What do you mean time? Like hang time in the air?
So if it falls straight with your body, it's noon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so you got there's no tie in this thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first it's got to go over. And we watched the younger kids, and nobody could do it. I think 2 out of 10. And they get 3 tries each. Oh, my God. We're watching these little huffers and puffers lifting the stick. It would fall off their shoulder. And these are the next generation. Oh, I'm telling you guys, the Highland Games might be over.
It's done.
One kid's trying to do it. He can't see his phone. He doesn't know what to do.
I mean, what's the talent pool like to begin with here? You would think the people who are good would leave our tiny Highland Fest and go to one of the big boys down in, I don't know, Seattle or Portland.
I can't construction, John. We used to have construction and fishing jobs and oil rigs, and that brought in your big, beefier Norwegians. But apparently now we're on Bed Bath & Beyond 23 hours a week.
Huh.
I mean, they get a deal on the skirt, but they got to figure out how to work out.
Well, you could buy one skirt, and that can last you 25 years.
Oh, it was.
But you got to make a living in between the Highland Games. You can't keep.
Yeah,
like Becker said, when there were jobs, you'd get these people up there, these roughnecks and these roustabouts that could fucking get in there, and that would be part of it because they could make a living. But now they just got a skirt, wondering where to get a job.
I don't remember his last name, but his name's Jody, and he did the thing where you take a 42-pound weight on a chain and you throw it over a high bar.
Oh, that old game.
Yeah, but the thing is we had friends that were doing the event, and he's really good. The guy that we were rooting for Zach, and Zach goes up and he nails it with a foot to clear on the early ones, and people are failing. And then Jody goes up and throws it, and it's like 4 feet higher than the bar when he starts. And at this point, we go, Jesus Christ. And that's when my friend leaned over and go tell him you think Jody's a girl's name. I dare you.
Yeah. Hey, are they throwing it over a bar like the high jump or like the pole vault?
Like a high jump.
Or the pole vault?
No, like a high jump bar,
okay.
Because it's got teeth and you got to throw it that way. But and it comes down right, like when they fuck up, it comes down right near their head and they just look around and go, what? And one guy threw it off the wrong way. That looked like me bowling. I was like, all right. But it was a blast. It really was amazing. And then they did a new thing they did last year. They started it. They throw a 50-pound salmon.
What?
Yeah, they take a salmon and they chuck it.
I think you were talking about the playoffs or the finals with the Penguins NHL playoff. The catfish?
No, big full-size salmon.
We're not worth it. We don't know what you're talking about.
So they take a 50-pound salmon and fucking chuck it?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you pictures. I gotta get them all.
Yeah, send me that. But I'm trying to. Really, what's the point of that?
How many people? How many people are chucking it?
They have the Masters group, and they're the ones who do like the hammer throw and everything. So they come in and do it. But then they were doing it over the high bar, and that was amazing. But it was hard to see because they moved it to the other one.
It sounds like a bunch of drunk people that got a hold of a cooler that had a fish in it, and they decided they were just gonna start fucking chucking it. Why the fish?
It was pretty funny to watch these guys chuck it because it's really, I don't know if you know this, but it's very difficult to hang on to a salmon tail.
Well, especially a salmon up in Alaska where they're all going to spawn. If I figure like the shot put, you'd like, or the hammer throw, you'd take 1 or 2 spins around before you let go, and then all the meat would fall off, and then just a spine would be flying through the air with a tail.
No, the meat stayed on it, but it was amazing. I think they broke every bone in his body because they used one salmon. By the end, the guy was rolling it up like a sleeping bag and chucking it.
So then it became the shot put.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible that the Scots invented 2 sports. One is golf, which is a real finesse game, and the other is just getting drunk and throwing heavy things as far as you can.
That's what makes it funny when a Scottish guy throws his golf club. When he practicing for the Highland Games?
That's a new game. That's a new sport. Put a fish head on that club and we'll brand it.
You got something.
Then you got something.
Any injuries? Nobody.
No. Oh, God, the worst injury of all. So they always hire these, I don't know if they hire them or they're volunteers or they're from a halfway house, but they never look like they really fit in. But they do a thing that's known as the country walk or something. It's something. Anyway, they take, they're 100 and some pounds each. They're metal bars. And then you have to walk. Farmer's walk. It's farmer's walk.
Oh.
And you hold these things, and they got wrought iron metal sticking out, and you have to walk this path. And they try to go 300-400 feet, and the record I think is like 400, and they shut the place down for it. But it's so heavy that you watch as the strongest person you've ever seen start shaking with this fear, and they drop them. But they got to drop them, make sure they don't hit their feet because they're 100 pounds each. And these kids have to go out there with the dolly and go pick them up.
Yeah.
And then you wait while these kids with a dolly can barely struggle them back. So you realize it's kind of difficult because you can talk shit until you realize how heavy they are.
Yeah, you see the guy do it. And you're like, how heavy could it be? And then you see like 4 teenagers wrestle it onto a dolly as the dolly's sinking into the turf as they're trying to just drag it back to the starting line.
And I'll tell you, the girls that did it successfully, they are low to the ground. We'll just say that. It looked like the outtakes from Orange is the New Black is what it looked like. These girls you didn't want to make fun of them either.
Yeah. A hush fell over the crowd because there were a lot of girlfriends in the audience.
So the kids going to do it, right? And they don't fit in. They're not like athletes doing this. They're kids with the dolly, and they're skinny usually, and they're wearing, like this kid was wearing like I don't know if he thought it was a kilt, but it looked more like a skirt. But it was pleated.
Catholic schoolgirl costume.
Yeah.
So they put these weights on the dolly. Well, the kid does the classic with the dolly. If you've ever used a dolly more than once in your whole fucking life, if you're gonna put something heavy on it, make sure it's flat. He's got it at a 45, and the guy goes to put the weight on it, and of course the dolly goes straight up into his face. I think it knocked his teeth out.
Oh, like stepping on a rake. Like the old cartoon stepping on a rake. Yeah.
So the worst injury at the Highland Games was by the halfway house kid they borrowed.
Well, he learned.
Fuck. Everyone in the crowd went, "Oh fuck!" There's no way that didn't hurt.
Did he walk off the field?
No, they carried him. No, they all got him and put a towel on his face and dragged him away.
They put him on the dolly and got him out of there.
Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
It's so convenient that the dolly's right here. We can get him off the field really quick.
It was brutal. That one was the worst of the day. That was like he knew that hurt. I think it probably broke his nose and took his teeth out.
Well, it's all for a good cause. The kids win on this one.
But amazing day. Turned out beautiful. And it was great. No complaints. Food was amazing too. Pork chop on a stick. All the classics. Had homemade corn dog with a reindeer sausage.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know where the heat stays in a reindeer sausage corn dog, but it's in the middle when you bite it.
For me, on a corn dog, and John, weigh in here. For me, the heat is always on the outside because I want to eat it right away. But the outside has been touching the oil, and that's the problem. Is they dip the corn dog in the oil, and then you go to eat it really quick, and it's hot, and that's the problem because the inside is already cooked. The hot dog's already cooked. It doesn't need much heat to get down in there. It just you're cooking the batter on the outside, correct?
Yeah.
I think my corn dog experience is pretty much limited to hot dog on a stick, but I think that's how they do it. I think they have the cooked dog and they dip it in the batter and then they fry it so it gets all spongy and soaks up all that hot oil.
Absolutely.
And then you have to soothe all of the burns on the inside of your mouth with some nice cold lemonade.
I think when I was making homemade donuts, I had a candy thermometer in the oil, and I believe that oil, I mean, look, we're doing the same thing here, guys. The donuts, the corn dog, it's about the same. I believe it's 375 was the temperature Fahrenheit that we were aiming for the donuts, and I would imagine that would be about the same that the fryer is for a corn dog. Maybe more because it's quicker. They're busting them out. I'm cooking. I'm at home.
Yeah, it took a while. It looked like they had a line. It was all people waiting.
Well, listen, I wish hot dog on a stick never left, but maybe it's time to come back because people don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck what they eat.
Wait, corn dog on a stick is gone?
Hot dog on a stick? Long gone, my friend.
What? I don't go to the mall. I don't know.
You can't even find uniforms at thrift stores anymore.
Oh my God, what was it? The Michael Myers, the movie.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. The Austin Powers. The girls in the background in that opening dance with the big like twiggy hat. Bouffant hat. Yeah.
Polyester multicolored.
Yeah. And the red, the primary colors. Yeah, that whole thing. They could come back. I don't know. I wouldn't invest, but I'd certainly buy it. I'd buy a corn dog or two.
I think they still exist.
John.
Hot dog in Anchorage.
Why do you say I think when you're the one who's always plunking away on a computer?
What's it say, John? Coming soon to Anchorage?
Definitely not.
First time in Anchorage. We're finally arriving. Hot dog on a stick at the Northway Mall.
They've got a website. Listen, they've got a website.
Yeah, like from the 80s.
No, it's
Give me your credit card, John.
Yeah, give me your credit card.
If you are in California, Georgia, Hawaii, Louisiana, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, or Utah, there is a hot dog on a stick somewhere.
So it's west. It's west of the Rockies.
And Georgia. And Louisiana. And Texas.
What? In Georgia, there's one? It's got to be at the airport or something, right?
We're in Nevada.
Yeah.
Greg, you're in Pennsylvania right now. You're only like 7 hours away from a hot dog on a stick.
All right, we got to cut this podcast short.
I gotta make up some time.
I'm pretty sure there's nowhere else I could get a hot dog on a stick, or what we call them now, corn dogs.
I guess there's a couple. Las Vegas Boulevard.
Oh yeah, but Vegas is that thing though, where you could do hot dog on a stick, and you have enough people walking by you a day.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to pay the franchise fee.
Yeah.
I thought this was Hooters.
Yeah. All right, give me 4 hot dogs. And
do you remember what they had?
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, and Becker, because you know the business end of this thing. You've been a customer.
You think John, I don't know hot dog business?
No, John, I know you do, but you've never been a customer of hot dog on a stick. It's not a hot dog on a stick. It's a corn dog on a stick, right?
Yeah.
They didn't sell just hot dogs like a fucking weenie with a stick in it, right?
What's your question?
I'm saying it's not hot dog on a stick. It's a corn dog on a stick.
Dog on a stick, but somebody already had that franchise.
I mean, but it's probably like In-N-Out Burger where there's a secret unknown menu, and if you get it, you can get it low carb style, and it's just a hot dog on a stick.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Do you remember though the key to that was if you ordered the fresh lemonade? Do you remember that?
Oh, with all the lemon slices in it. That was a huge vat.
The girl jumped on a pogo stick to make it.
What?
They put it on a pogo stick. You had to jump up and down on a pogo stick to make the lemonade. So people would order. Voters would order it to watch these girls jump around.
You're making this up, Becker. There's fucking no
I'm not
way.
making it up. That's one of the first things I said. I go, how much are they paying these girls to do this? There's no way it's minimum wage.
All right. So I walk. Okay, walk me through this. We go. You and I are at the mall. I walk up and I go, 1 lemonade, please. Or wait, what do I have to say?
Just 1 fresh lemonade.
So I say 1 fresh lemonade, my good lady. And then what happens behind the counter?
First, she rolls her eyes. I remember that.
Yes.
And then she takes this cup shaker that goes onto the pogo stick. Then she throws in lemon rinds, and then it compresses it when she jumps, and then she starts jumping on a pogo stick, jumping on a pogo stick, jumping on a pogo stick. And then she gets done, shakes it, pours it in a cup, sticks a lid on it, says, do you need anything else?
Hold on, let me zip up my pants.
So,
how much do I owe you?
Yeah. It was amazing. It shouldn't even be called hot dogs. It should be called hot chick on a pogo stick in polyester.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla fucking took a page out of that book and made a franchise out of it.
That was the thing. I just never could forget that. That was like the weirdest thing ever. And I was like, and it was for the nondescript thing on the menu.
Yeah.
And this would happen like behind the counter?
Yeah, behind the counter.
It seems like an OSHA thing. Like that's a safety violation. Like someone just like jumping on a pogo stick. It would seem like you'd have to have like a cordoned off area, like all hash marked on the floor, and like 3 people with radios would have to hold everyone back.
Corn dog juice all over the floor.
Exactly.
Workman's comp nightmare.
Is she crushing the lemons with the pogo stick?
Yeah, it actually compressed them so it squeezed the juice out. But you got a completely perforated lemon juice. And at the time, I didn't even know I couldn't have sugar. So it was one of those things you go, let's go get lemonade. Let's go see how low this girl can go. Have you not considered porn at all?
You bring up a good point. The fact that the pogo stick, for the millennials that don't know what that is, because you're on your 2-wheeled bicycle with the one big wheel and the little small one in the back, twirling your mustache, looking at your top hat in the window. The pogo stick, that's a precarious instrument to be jumping up and down in an area that has a lot of grease.
I'm sure you could YouTube pogo stick and just get 10,000 videos of people dying.
But the thing is, you have to land perpendicular to the surface, or it's going to slip out from under you. Because I've seen those videos and I've done it too.
My photographic memory just kicked in, and I'm remembering how they did it now. It was on a metal base. The pogo stick stayed still. They got on it and jumped on it in one place.
Oh, they just jump up and down like a trampoline. So it's a pogo stick trampoline.
Right, there you go.
See, once again.
That's how they did it. Because I remember, how were they not jumping all over and slipping?
Yeah.
But that's how they did it. They stood on this thing and jumped up and down until it made your drink.
Until it made your drink or your
Until it made your drink. Well, I mean, there's a hot dog on a stick in the Brea Mall. So,
still?
Still. Open until 9 p.m.
I grew up in Fullerton, right next to Brea Mall, and that hot dog on a stick, I remember there being when they're back in, that was the early 80s, late 70s.
I had a job in the Brea Mall in like 2003.
Where did you work?
I worked at Sears in the warehouse.
Oh, I only say like that because I worked at Nordstrom's, and we didn't talk to
counter.
What?
Makeup counter.
No, we worked. A buddy of mine, Brendan, his older sister, she worked at the Brass Rail. She was the manager of the Brass Rail, and she brought us in, and we were all surf rats in Southern California. We didn't want jobs, but we liked the idea of someone's sister hiring us because there was no paperwork. There was no fucking bullshit. And then we ended up getting fired from stealing candy from the back, like in the break room from the vending machine. So
were you tipping it over?
We were stealing paydays. We figured out, this is the thing. You know the vending machine with the corkscrew, like you put the money in, you hit the code, and then a corkscrew rolls, and then your thing drops down, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we figured out, and remember that we aren't out in the mall area. We're back behind the scenes at Nordstrom's, and we figured out that if you took you took your arm, threw it into that, like you push in to get the thing, and it closes up this other trap door so you can't get up. If you push it in just a little bit, you can swing your arm in there, and if you push the corkscrew part a little bit, it triggers it in the back to go through a cycle, to go through it for whatever reason, right? So we got everything on the bottom row. We cleaned them out. Grandma's cookies, licorice, all that shit, right? And then we figured out...
Bottom row is usually the worst stuff, though. Well, that's like and those milk cookies.
Listen, if I was gonna do it, I would put I would put nothing on the bottom row. I'd put
filterless cigarettes.
Yeah, cotton balls. I'd put cotton balls on the fucking. I would put something there, empty cups that no one's gonna buy, right? So but then we figured out that if the action is just pushing that corkscrew a little bit and then the machine takes over the rest, since we're basically starters in the clothing game, we would just break off that piece, that dowel that holds pants flat on a yeah, we would pull that out and then we would use that and we could get to the second and third row.
You guys were engineers. You weren't surf rats.
Look at
that. The guy who comes in and fills that thing like weekly or maybe twice a week, he'd come in and see the first 3 rows completely devoid of any kind of product. And there's like 7 nickels in the fucking till. He would just go, "Hey, who's stealing my shit?" And who do you think? the 3 guys who just showed up?
How long
Maybe it's those young guys who we never see doing any work and just always are in the break room.
Exactly. With like with payday on your fingers. There had to be chocolate around our mouths the entire time we were working there.
It's those guys who were selling payday bars for 10 cents.
Becker, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I was wondering, how long did you pull this off? That the guys keeps refilling it and putting good stuff on the bottom. I don't get it.
It didn't take long.
I mean, you guys sucked as workers, but he's right up there.
No, absolutely. And he had to have gone every week because we did at least 4 or 5 days before I remember I didn't get caught. It was my brother and Leo who got caught. And it was like so funny. It's like, we didn't want to fucking work anyway. We just wanted a little easy money, and then we had a side scam, which was fucking perfect, and then we just went surfing again. Okay, guess what? We're fired. Big deal.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, and then our fucking I could call Leo now today. I haven't talked to him in 20 years. I could call him now and go payday, and he'd know exactly who it fucking was, because that was our thing. It was hilarious that we got fired.
Did the gang break up after you lost the job, or did you guys go and find other vending machines?
No, the vending machine game was done. But I don't look at one. I mean, when I was with Hedberg on the road, and he had a joke about a vending machine that sells vending machines, I'm like, hey, hold on, don't put any vending machines on that lower row.
You're gonna lose your ass.
I know guys that have already fucking figured this shit out. Put them up above.
Oh man. I like the idea of a crime ring that just hits the bottom 3 rows of vending machines all over the country.
Yeah, but there's guys who own vending machines that fucking hate us.
Yeah.
I wonder if that thing still goes down. If you could still get in there, listen, money. That's where the rubber hits the road. If the vending machine guys that buy those businesses say, "What the fuck? You mean you just touch this corkscrew thing and it pays out?" Because in the old days, you'd see the first 3 slots missing on the bottom row, and that means someone got their hand in there and they pulled them out physically. But if you could hit that corkscrew and it pays it out naturally, it looks like nothing's been tampered with. You know what I mean?
You just gotta know where to touch it, and then
yep,
it pays out every time.
But Greg, you've described vending machines as if it should have a pit boss and a guy in the ceiling, an eye in the sky. I don't think you really, they're like, come on, it's 50 cents, for God's sakes.
Dude,
I imagine, so when Greg talks about this, I imagine him as like a suave cat burglar in like some swanky bar in like the south of France, just talking to some guy while he smokes a skinny cigarette. You just have to know where to touch it, and baby, it'll pay out all day long.
John, what we're forgetting is the fact they're going over to the makeup counter at Nordstrom's using $90 worth of fucking lubricant to get their arm in and out. Not realizing that was the real crime.
Hey, it costs money to make money, guys. I'm investing in our future. I wish I would have had this. Go ahead.
Somewhere in the desert outside of Brea, there's just like $300 worth of payday candy bars buried.
Nah.
Yeah. Like that ET fucking Atari game. No one even knows what the fuck is going on. And then all of a sudden, we'll meet out there in 2020 with 3 shovels, me and my brother and Leo, and we don't say a word. We just start digging. We haven't seen each other in years. We start digging.
We've said too much. There's going to be all of our listeners are going to go out into the desert with shovels trying to find the treasure.
We all agreed if we're still alive and not married, we're going out to the desert to dig up the. Bear attacks.
Sure.
When I first came up here, that was the biggest fear I had, was being killed by a bear. So then I moved to a green belt where the bears actually are. And it turns out I'm fine. It's the people that do exercise and stuff that get attacked.
Yeah, you're safe. In fact, you're completely safe.
It's so the latest one is this dude, James Frederick, who's a guy I've met. I've actually met him a bunch of times, and him and another dude were biking out by the military base, and he just got charged by a black bear.
No, that was a brown bear, dude.
Oh, it was a brown bear?
Yeah.
I thought it was a black bear.
No, the latest one, the third attack in a week, was a brown bear, which didn't seem to be predatory like the other two, the black bears that we talked about last week. It was because it was they saw there was a cub in the tree, and that's basically what we all know. Especially with moose and bear, same thing. If there is a youngin around, you're fucked, because they're basically just protecting. But when there's a cub in the tree, how the fuck we should be putting the bells like people who walk a lot out in nature. They wear bells and they go, "Hey bear, hey bear." They do all that. We should put the fucking bells on the cubs, so we fucking know when there's a cub around, and then we just fucking don't go down that area.
Well, the thing is, too, they said if this attack was so fast, they didn't even have time to react. He said we heard it, and then we saw the cubs later, but
yeah,
he goes, it was, and that's the thing, everyone thinks, and he said bear spray had no effect on him at all.
It did turn the bear around, and that's why it was not a predatory thing, because the bear wasn't going after him. It was kind of a warning thing, although looking at that guy, that was more than a warning in the hospital bed. Yeah, it's fucked up. But
and by the way, the police have announced today, please stop calling and tell us you saw a bear. They go, there's bears in Alaska. We're aware of that. And all of a sudden someone's dead.
I think Tracy was telling me they think they killed the bear that killed the that runner last week.
Yeah, I guess they killed him. Because I mean, he was already shot in the face, that bear.
Yeah.
And then they finished the job.
Do you give the parents a pelt? You go here.
Or the stomach contents?
This is like the first summer where I'm not going to cancel my gym membership. I don't want to go outside at all. It seems terrible out there. I don't know what to blame, but I'm going to blame global warming.
I love the fact they're claiming it's just perfectly normal. It just happens to be a coincidence. It's a fluke. It's like our crime problem. It's a fluke.
It is. Becca, I was thinking the same thing today. I'm like, because Tracy was keeping me up to date on some of this stuff. And then I researched a little bit today. I looked into it, and then I saw the picture of the guy, the two dudes who were on the bikes. I'm like, on bikes? I mean, were they walking the bikes? I mean, if they're zooming down the fucking trail, how does the bear even know? Like, the bear's got to recognize something, there's a threat, and then has to fucking turn around. The bikes should be gone by then, right?
Right. No, and that's what they're saying is they said you can say whatever you want, but these bears they're pouncing. They're making their move. They're pissed.
So I don't know. I'm not going to do anything outdoorsy at all.
Well, how does that differ from your original plan before the bear attacks?
Well, now I have a good excuse. This was going to be the summer where I, go solo camping, but nah, stay at home. I am going charter fishing this weekend in Homer, which I'm nervous about because I've been fishing a lot of times, but I don't know how to fish. So I'm going to definitely look like an asshole.
No, they do it all for you, dude.
Oh,
yeah. All you got to do is remember not to let the line out too fast.
I'm going to definitely do that.
They're used to guys like you. You'll catch fish. You're going out of Homer. You're going to go for halibut?
Yeah, I guess halibut or whatever you catch now. Well, I think since halibut, it's been bad halibut fishing, I read. Now it's just like whatever you catch.
Well, I mean, yeah, it always is, right? If it's edible and it comes up, then you take it.
What's the name of the charter? Seaweed Tours?
License plates. You're gonna take a license plate? Look, hey John, you only get 2 license plates. That's you keep getting.
You want to keep it? It's Oregon.
You want to keep it? It's Oregon.
Next week I'm gonna be on the podcast next week talking about how I caught half a pair of boots, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, if they're your size, you fucking win, right?
Oh, I'll wear a thick pair of socks. Doesn't matter to me.
No, you can go up. You can't go down. You don't want to do that, John. Don't be an asshole.
So that's the only outdoorsy thing I'm doing.
Do you have your license?
Picking one up right after this podcast, actually, on my list of things.
I think you could get that right at the Safeway, can't you? At the door or the Fred Meyer?
Yeah, you can just go to Cars or Fred Meyer.
Yeah, that is one thing I remember from playing in the band and traveling around Alaska. We took a lot of gigs out in fucking boonies, but everything was very accessible. Like, you didn't have to go to City Hall to get a fucking fishing license or something, you know? And you could go to Fred Meyer and get everything to fish and hunt. And that was which was good because that was the only store in town.
Yeah, but you got to remember when they ring up something wrong, like, that cooler was only $26, is on sale. Oh, it rang up 46. You have to go over to customer service and go get your refund. I can't do it here. I just handed you the money.
Yeah.
And then you go over and realize how many people like John are getting fishing licenses right now.
Yep.
And guess what? It's the same fucking line. I'm like, what would you? I'd like a cooler refund license. Can I get that?
It's the same line you stand in when I dump all my change into Coinstar and then I want to cash it out. So you're standing behind me too, Becker.
Mm-hmm. No, it's everybody pays utility bill, and you're just like, are you kidding me? You fucked up here. I didn't fuck up. Next thing you know, I'm just standing there eating payday bars like I work at Nordstrom's.
So, hey, Becker, did you see Anchorage has another World Series of Poker big winner?
No, I didn't see that one. How did I miss that?
A guy from Anchorage, Alex Hendricks.
I know Alex, yeah.
Alex just won $138,000 as a runner-up in the World Series of Poker. And as soon as I read this, I'm like, Tracy, what the fuck is this game? And she goes, that's a weird one. It's called Pot Limit Omaha High Low 8 or better.
Yeah.
What the?
And that's it's a six-handed too. So yeah, you play groups of 6.
Oh fuck! I'm like, what?
But that raises your hand rank.
What does that mean? 8 or better? So if you have a pair of 6s, it doesn't count. I don't understand.
No, you have to have your low
card.
To get
your
the
low
low.
card.
You have to be 8 low. So in other words, ace 2. It can't be a straight, but you have to have a sync of 5 cards that are below 8. So in other words, you need 1, 2, 3. But yeah, so it puts you into basically 6 or 7 hands that will win the low. Oh, so when you're drawing up the pot, think you got the low, and a guy's got a 7 low, and you have an 8 low. Guess what? You lose both. he can get the high and low with straight because he can use any cards on the board.
I got no idea what you just said.
I'm never going to play this game.
Oh, it's fun though because it's usually a split pot, but when you watch a guy swoop both and the other guy thought he had it, so he kept running it up, it's the pot limit.
Yeah.
So if I raise, you raise, he raise, we raise, three raise, yep, next pot. Now it's the whatever that's in the pot, so you can keep jamming up the pot, and you go, I got a lock on the low. Unless you really have a 6 low, you don't have a lock on anything.
Okay, I also don't understand what you just said again.
But here's the deal: if you both have like the same low hand, you split the low pot, and somebody else takes the other half of the huge pot you just built.
Oh wow!
So you got to have some discipline and not running up a pot if you're going to split it with somebody.
Yeah. I get that part. Well, yeah, Alex Hendricks, Anchorage.
Good job.
He quit his job to play poker full time, and then now he went down there and he won $138,000.
There you go.
I tried to read that story, but ADN.com has decided I've run out of stories to read unless I pay them more. So
you were checking the weather in Homer, and now you're fucked.
But so now I'm reading ADN.com stories. I click on it, and then you have about 2 seconds to read the story before the pop-up comes out and blocks it. So I try to get through the first 2 paragraphs.
You would have figured out, you make your screen as big as possible, then you screenshot it as soon as it pops up. And then
good idea. Yeah. So, guys, I got to tell you, you keep bemoaning this whole thing about the ADN.com, which is the Anchorage Dispatch or whatever it's called news. Who's
bemoaning it?
You say like you can't read it. You get a time limit or they block it. Down here in the lower 48, I'm all over the site. I have no restrictions on anything I look at. I can read every single article. I can roam
Should
freely.
you screenshot them and forward them to us?
I guess I should because that is a good Becker. That's a really good fucking idea. Screenshotting it.
I'll pay you $4 a month. We'll undercut it.
My subscription rate will be 50 cents less than the Anchorage Daily News subscription rate.
So you know all about this youth hockey treasurer who
God damn it.
$180,000.
What a fucking asshole.
He might won more than the World Series of Poker guy. What are you talking about?
But when I read that, okay, so basically a person, I didn't even read that much into it, but I did read that a person who was working for a youth hockey organization, this is Mustang Hockey or whatever, and they absconded with $180,000, but they were a volunteer. Who's giving a volunteer to a charity organization access to where they can abscond with $180,000?
Welcome to Alaska, Greg.
Jesus Christ.
This guy was for free. Let's use him.
And let's give him the keys to the fucking warehouse. What the fuck is that?
I think it's so I figured out how to get past it. You just click on the story and then you hit stop before it loads all the way.
Oh, on the browser.
I am going to subscribe though because I do want to support.
Yeah.
Why would you support them? They're 80% of their paper is national stories.
Yeah, you can get on another paper. Anyone
because I can get the
AP.
national stories everywhere, but it's those 20% of local stories I can't get anywhere else.
You can get them on Channel 11, what is that? KTV. They're running a great ad on TV. They're going, they want you to pay for their website? Forget that. We'll send it to you every day. I'm like, fuck yeah. That was brilliant marketing.
All right, that's fair. But I like that this person, Jennifer Suchan, 33, first-degree theft and charge of scheme to defraud. I didn't even know that was something you could be charged with, scheming.
Yeah, that seems a Minority Report, kind of. Hey, you're thinking about ripping off your friend?
I mean, isn't everybody always scheming to defraud? I mean, every time I have to stand in line in the bank, I'm thinking about how could I rob this place?
John, that's very cynical of you.
Am I the only one?
Well, I don't know.
I watch a lot of heist movies.
Well, that's the police are currently looking for 2 groups of people seen driving around shooting at each other.
Oh, I saw that too on the.
Why do they just want to get involved? Let them sound like they got it taken care of.
I don't know anything else because they cut me off, but
you only know parts of the stories. That's awesome.
Just give me the headlines, yeah.
Well, I do want to announce. Hold on, guys. You might not get this because I know things cut you off, but you can find them on Facebook. It's the Muldoon Farmers Market just opened last weekend, and that's at the Begich Middle School.
Should we go?
Hold on a second. That was 2 years ago. How come this
What?
This just came up.
Is that you want me to pay for, John?
This just came up as a recent article, and it says, meet the 2015 farm and garden vendors from the Muldoon Farmers Market. It made it look, maybe it just opened. Maybe I read it wrong.
Hey, oil prices at an all-time high.
You can mix things up.
I'm looking at the wrong paper.
And the big hot was.
What's that?
It's I'm trying to look at KTVA, but they have those auto videos.
Yeah.
I didn't want you guys to hear it.
I don't understand. They don't even match with the story you pull up.
This I just clicked on it, and I was hoping you guys wouldn't hear it because it was just like deep, sexy voice. I was like, "Try our hot pastrami." Thanks, Subway.
Wait, where's it at? Wait, there's a hot pastrami at Subway?
Yeah, but I'm trying to read this story about the stripper boat reopening in Homer. So maybe I can get this this halibut charter. Maybe we can take a detour at the Wild Alaskan stripper boat.
Wait, what's the Becker, you heard the stripper boat?
Yeah, the stripper boat. They got shut down because they shot raw sewage out into the water, and they find him and went after him. And he goes, "It's just because I'm a stripper boat." And they go, "Well, no, you're not allowed to pour raw sewage in the water, you jackass."
That's like ringing up someone in the mob for tax evasion.
Yeah, it's the lowest form.
Or it's like getting pulled over when you've got drywall posing as cocaine in your pocket because you didn't fucking turn on your headlights. Pull your shit together. Don't get pulled over. Don't dump raw sewage.
Yeah.
So owner Darren Byler says reopening the vessel is a political statement. He's calling the boat's summer tour a First Amendment freedom of assembly recreational event. So this is for America.
Yeah. Make America great again. Let's have stripper boats.
I don't know if he's allowed to serve alcohol. I don't know if that's stopping him.
I don't think he's allowed to, and that's why you can't figure out. It's like $20 to get on the boat or something, and maybe $40 to get off. I don't know.
There's an egress fee.
But it's just, there's not really a lot of marketing. He's just basically doing it now to be, like, you shut me down. I'll show you. And I can't wait till the next fine hits him. I'd be like, you got underage girls on the boat.
He's like that gal, the gal who said fuck it on TV and decided to sell weed. Yeah. Just got really addicted to the media attention, I think. Maybe that's what it is. With a siren song.
I think people believe if they're dumb enough and on TV long enough, they'll get a reality show.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking Dog the Bounty Hunter and Hulk Hogan. Right?
Yeah.
Well, a guy that dangled his baby out the window trying to get more likes.
Michael Jackson?
No, it turns out, it was a copycat. But there was somewhere over in like Dubai or something. He was dangling out, and he admitted he did bad but he's hanging him over a fucking goddamn, I don't know, he's on like the 30th floor, and he's dangling this kid by his sweatshirt. I'm like, whoa, I liked it.
That's a lot of faith in the process of putting together a sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly.
That's like those videos, you guys have both seen those videos of like those people that go up to like the top of skyscrapers and like sit on the very edge of it or like do a handstand on the edge of it.
Yeah. Well, they used to do that in the 1920s when they would sit on the back two legs of a chair, sitting on the seat of another chair, sitting on the top of the Empire State Building.
Well, that was during the Depression. That's the only way they could get a loaf of bread. You gotta impress people somehow.
Yeah.
No, the poorer the country gets, the better skills you have.
Yeah.
We're headed back into an amazing time, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna have some real fucking superstars soon.
America's Got Talent.
Pogo stick lemonade makers. That business is gonna skyrocket.
Amazing.
Some fun news stories. There's this old lady in China was getting on a plane and was throwing coins into the plane engine for luck as she got on the plane.
Well, like the big turbo, the spinner.
Yeah.
That.
So.
Who made that up?
I don't know.
Where did that fucking folk tale come from?
She was getting on the plane with her family, and while she was in the steps, as I guess you had to go outside and walk up steps onto the plane.
Yeah.
She threw a handful of coins into the engine for good luck, and then somebody reported her, and they, as a responsible airline would do, they spent 5 hours trying to get the coins out of there and making sure everything was okay.
5 hours? Pull the plane out of commission.
No. It's still China, Greg.
Jesus Christ! They just showed that one thing on CNN where it was in a foreign country, which is why you never fly in a foreign country, where the pilot came on the public address system in the plane that was shaking madly, saying that he would there's some difficulties. He would like everyone to pray. And what happened was one of the fan blades in one of the engines broke off, and this fucking thing was shaking like a motherfucker. And
well, yeah, there was a bunch of change in there.
Turns out he just should have turned it upside down, and then the change would have fallen out.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple of times he said, "Pray for." And they were halfway over the Indian Ocean. There was nothing they could do. It's fucking insane.
That's when you go, I'll just buy a round of drinks for everybody. Put on my card. I'm not paying.
I'm looking. I read that on the South China Morning Post news site.
The one you get for free.
Their most popular news section is pretty awesome. So number 1 is the lady who throws coins into an engine for luck. Number 2 is a Shanghai police raid, MMA versus Tai Chi group brawl.
Oh, is that with Dick Van Dyke?
It must be. And number 4, there's a missing Chinese student in the U.S. likely kidnapped by white man. That's news. That's news you don't see in the U.S.
At least they didn't say round eye. Well, John, thank you for keeping abreast of all the China's news, so that we can prepare ourselves over here in the wonderful summer.
While you're on tour, if you're in the Champaign County of Illinois, be on the lookout for a white man and an Asian girl. Driving a dark hatchback.
Okay.
They don't have the best Amber Alerts, do they?
Who?
China.
No.
White guy took a kid. We'll make more.
And that's been the Chinese news hour from Near the Wild.
A volcano just went off the Aleutian Islands. Volcano went off.
Ah, Jesus.
30,000 feet.
How far from us? Pretty far. I don't know if it counts.
But there's always going to be volcanoes going off. You know that, right?
14-minute eruption. John
and I know that. I mean, we heard your predictions.
No, but you're getting the fact when that happens, now you're going to have an earthquake.
Oh, okay. Connected with that.
I'm making a prediction. Hail.
I'm making a prediction. Cloudy.
I told you the second week in January we're going to have the biggest earthquake we've had since 1964. We did. So don't act like I'm somehow off the mark.
No, I know. I'm drunk and ready to go eat sushi.
Yeah, go eat sushi in the Midwest. See how that turns out. Put it in toilets.
Where's your prediction there?
Yeah, I tell you, a volcano's going to go off.
I'll tell you what, you're right, 100%.
Oh, Pittsburgh, the sushi capital of Western Pennsylvania.
You've listened to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker, sitting on my bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I am John Norris, sitting in my hopefully bear-proof house in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Greg Shaley, sitting in a Holiday Inn Express in Homestead, Pennsylvania, just waiting.
Woo!
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker, John Norris, and Greg Shaley. Recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Produced and engineered in Bisbee, Arizona by Shaley.
on your fries. Your hot dog, eat it first. That lemonade quench your thirst. That lemonade quench your thirst. Hot dog, mommy, I want a hot dog and some lemonade. Get your hot dog on a stick. Your hot dog on a stick. Your mustard on the side. Your ketchup on your fries. Your hot dog, eat it first. That lemonade quench your thirst. Woo, that lemonade quench your thirst. Get your hot dog on a stick. Get your hot dog on a stick. Sir, nothing says I love you more than a hot dog on a stick, sir. Buy your wife a hot dog. Look her dead in the eye and say, baby, this dog's for you. Hot dog on a stick. Your hot dog on a stick. Your mustard on the side. Your ketchup on your fries. Hot dog, eat it first. That lemonade quench your thirst. Yeah. Thank you, California. Get home safe, y'all.